I want to introduce our next speaker, Chelene Nightingale. Chelene is the AIP's candidate for California governor. She brings a bright and energetic presence to the party and promises to shake things up in the Golden State. Chelene's background includes a modeling and entertainment career in Seattle. After relocating to California, her focus changed after the tragic events of 9/11. Now the mother of a young son, Chelene has shifted her attention to the political climate and the issues that would affect her child, like illegal immigration, among others. She joined the California-based nonprofit organization Save Our State, and soon she became the media and events organizer for the group, and later promoted to managing director. Under her direction, SOS as it's called, the membership greatly increased. During her tenure at Save Our State, Chelene organized community events and lobbying efforts in both Washington, D.C. and Sacramento. One of her achievements was helping to bring national attention to the false imprisonment of former Border Patrol agents Ramos and Campion. She successfully organized a march in Hollywood for the agents, which was featured on the nationally syndicated program America's Most Wanted. In January of this year, longtime members and leaders of the American Independent Party of California recruited this political figure and homeschooling mom to run for California governor. Chelene accepted when the Sacramento bureaucrats betrayed their constituents by passing the highest tax increase in the nation's history. Since that time, Chelene has joined other frustrated voters at various statewide tea parties. Her dynamic personality, along with her inspirational speaking style, placed her in a high demand at political rallies due to her ability to draw large crowds and motivate people to action. She is honored to represent we the people instead of the special money interests. She hopes to bring other frustrated Californians to join her in this journey to help take back the Golden State. Let's welcome Chelene Nightingale.
Actually, Jim got it wrong. I'm John, George, Paul, and Ringo, and that's just a little reference. I told Gary I was going to tease him a little bit for a newsletter that he sent out. Really, I do want to thank the Constitution Party, Gary, Jim, Bill, everybody for supporting the Nightingale for Governor campaign in California. We really appreciate each and every single one of you. But I have to admit, I was a little apprehensive to speak to all of you this morning with very unfair references to Joan of Arc, Sarah Palin, and the Beatles. I thought, geez, these people are going to think, well, it's like Christmas morning. You know, you have your present and you can't wait to open it up, and then you open it up and, well, there's the letdown. Listen, folks, I'm not the Beatles. I'm Chelene Nightingale. What I am is a homeschooling mom, but more importantly, I'm an American. Being an American actually means something to me. Our campaign, we're truly for the people, by the people, of the people. Our campaign is really we, the people, and I really want to stress that. And what I want to do is I want to bring attention to the members of my campaign team that are here. Half of us are here. The other half, unfortunately, could not be. But I really would like to acknowledge them. I have John Baldwin over here. He's the campaign manager. My best friend Mike, who's our webmaster. And my really good friend Bobby in the back. Could you please wave? He's the senior strategist. And when I first met him, I thought he was a liberal hippie. I was really shocked to find out he's even more conservative than me. Anyway, we're quite the motley crew. I will admit to this. But we are definitely we the people. And how did this come about, Nightingale for Governor? Because it certainly was not my idea. Well, let me tell you. The beginning of the year, I received a phone call from my really good friend, Barbara Ho. Now, for those of you who live in the state of California, you may know her best as the co-author of Prop 187. For those of you who live outside the state, she runs an organization called CCIR. She reminds me of Dorothy here from California. She has been on the front lines for us for decades and decades and decades, and she's still going strong just like Dorothy. Anyway, Barbara calls me on the phone and she said, Chelene, I got an interesting phone call from Larry Brazil. Larry wants you to run for office. I laughed. I said, you know, Barb, I've been asked so many times in the last couple of years, I'm just not interested, and I don't think I'm going to live in this city much longer to run for council. Well, Larry called, and it wasn't about city council. So here I am, representing the party, the people, for the state of California. And we have quite the mountain to climb. And I don't really know why they called me, but maybe it was for my political activism. I mean, Jim shared with you a little bit. I've been organizing events, marches. I went to El Paso. I really tried to help the agents as much as possible to be released. But you know what? I wasn't always this active in politics. It was September 11th, 2001. I'm not going to say it woke me up. But I will say that it made me want to go to the voting poll and not just vote the party or the name. Oh, I recognize that name, I'll vote for it. I started to pay attention. But it wasn't until my son was born. And for those of you who are parents, when you have a child, it changes your complete outlook on life. And I knew that we were in different times than when I grew up. Because when I grew up, my father in the Air Force, he raised us to be strong, patriotic individuals. My mother, her family were legal immigrants from Italy, and I'm telling you, they didn't come here illegally. They love this country. We were told that we could not speak any language but English, and the only flag that we knew was the American flag. Immediately when I woke up, I got involved, and there was no turning back. Before this, I worked in the entertainment industry, and I still do some acting. I just finished a play not too long ago, but there's a lot of similarities, I think, between politics and the entertainment industry. You know, some of the movies have been good, some of them have been bad, some of them have been interesting, and some of them have been inspirational. And one of those inspirational movies for me was when I was invited, due to my politics, my political activism, to meet the great Dr. Ron Paul. And I was honored and humbled to be asked. And I left that meeting so inspired. I really, a revolution brewing. And I thought, great, the GOP has finally woke up and there's a renewed spirit. Boy, was that quickly deflated. When the very, very popular Ron Paul didn't receive the nomination, and he was also ridiculed by the party, and instead, the very unpopular Council on Foreign Relations politician, who we call in California Juan McCain, won the election. I was further disillusioned when, after the election, John McCain's campaign manager had the audacity to say that the reason he lost was due to the quote-unquote conservatives in the party, and that you either better become more moderate or leave the party. Well, I took his advice, I left the party.